Hello, friends, family, amigos, amigas. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but amigas, how you doing? Arlo, what do you think? Should we drop it on him? Yeah? Okay. Arlo said yes, so we'll drop it on you. Hey, good evening to everybody that's watching this. Good morning. I don't know. I have people all over the world that follow me on various platforms, and I first and foremost want to say thank you. I'm grateful for being here with you. I want to talk about something today in which I titled Never Forget. Because the thing that I'm going to be speaking about with you today is oftentimes the one thing that we do forget when it's actually the most important thing to remember. I recall plenty of periods in my life. Have you ever had that time, I guess I should say, where you were just firing on all cylinders, where you felt unstoppable, where you achieved something and it really made you feel good about yourself? You know what I mean? Your heart rate elevated. You had that feeling of really, I did that. You looked yourself in the mirror and said, I'm proud of you. You felt like you just wanted to give yourself a big hug. On the outside, people might have congratulated you, but what they didn't see on the inside was all of the work that you had gone through to accomplish the thing that you did. So I don't know if that resonates with any of you here, but I recall a period of time in my life where I did do that, where I felt like that. And for me, that was from about 2016 to 2020 in college. I remember going into college my freshman year, my dad said, Devin, I want you to try and get a 3.7 grade point average, which is far beyond the average. I think average is about 3.2 or 3.3. And I said, all right, Dad, well, I'll try for it. So I went to school the first semester and ended up getting a 4.0 grade point average. Perfect grade point average, right? See, here's the thing. Once you experience success one time, it's more likely to become your standard. Once I achieved that grade one time, I achieved it for the rest of my college career. Never got less than an A. And here's the point of what I want to say. I don't care about the A. Sometimes I wonder if I could go back and do it all over again, if I would even do it in the first place. Because ultimately, if I'm being real, I came to the place where I placed such a huge value and so much of my worth inside of a grade, instead of placing my worth inside of the process. But the reason why I mentioned this is a couple of different things. Number one, that was when I was the most on in my life. I was relentless. If you were not helping me go towards my mission, I did not want to speak to you. If this function did not help me get closer towards my mission, I did not want to go. And I was on for 4 years straight, on. Did anything required to get the end goal, and I did it every time. But also during that time, I transformed my physique. Also during that time, I ran 105 miles in 24 hours. Also during that time, I started my own organization coaching other students throughout the university. Also during that time, I was the number 3 ROTC cadet in America. Also during that time, I did all of these things. And why am I mentioning some of my accolades? Because sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget what I'm made of. Sometimes I forget the $16,000 in 24 hours. Sometimes I forget serving all of the people that I've served. And instead of remembering those things, oftentimes what comes back into my head, and maybe your head as well, are all of the negative things. The one bad experience. The one no. The one rejection. And we allow that one rejection to define us instead of allowing our wins and our triumphs and our successes to define who we are. To show us and to prove to ourselves that we are capable. To prove to ourselves that we can overcome, that we can conquer. Like when I was a kid for 6 years, bullied every single day, beaten up, chain stolen, called the N-word every day, bullied, harassed. I overcame, I conquered. I didn't go through that to forget. See, the problem is that most people are misusing their imagination. And I'm a victim of that as well. I should say a conscious victim because I choose that. Maybe you do too. where we use our memory to recall the bad, but don't oftentimes recall the good. So what are the things that you've experienced in your life where you're really proud of, where you overcame, you conquered? The periods of time in your life where you didn't think you would make it through, but you made it through, but you didn't just make it through it, you grew through it. What were those periods? For me, winning an ultra marathon, outlasting 63 other competitors. I was the last man standing, not them. It was running 105 miles in 24 hours with zero preparation. I did that. It's doing a minimum of 100 burpees every single day. I do that. Devin, why are you so cocky? Why do I do all of these things? To not forget them. And this isn't for soft people. Let me make this very clear. This video today is not for soft people. So if you're soft, he's aggressive. He's bragging about, I'm not bragging on myself, because here's the thing. Those are all things that I did in the past. I'm worried about what I'm going to do tomorrow. But you know what I'm going to do? Earn a minimum of $4,300 per day every single day. $30,000 per week, $120,000 per month. No later than 90 days from now. By the time I'm 30, you can guarantee I will be earning a minimum of $10 million a year. Because I'm hungry. I'm on all cylinders again. Because I'm not forgetting the things that I conquered. What could you achieve if you lived in that state? What could you achieve if, when you reflect and look back, you reflect back on the positive instead of the negative? If you reflect back on the things that you conquered instead of the things that conquered you? Where does depression come from? It's simply a misuse of the past. Where does anticipation come from? Positive view of the past. So I love what it says in the comments. You got to be hungry. You do. But also you got to be hungry in different areas of your life. You got to be hungry in your fitness. You got to be hungry in your relationships. You got to be hungry in your finances. You got to be hungry in your business. You got to be hungry in your spirituality. You got to be hungry in your emotional life. There's a lot of people out here that are one-dimensional. And if you consider yourself a man or a woman, take Gandhi's advice. He said you cannot live well in one area of your life while neglecting any other. So this message today is not for people that are soft. This is not for the person that's fat but wants to be told that they're fluffy. You're fat. That should encourage you that you have the power to change. This is the message for the person that's ready to take accountability of their life and say, I've been misusing my imagination. Now let me use my imagination and my memory, rather, for the positive. To recall all the things that I've conquered. I'm sick and tired of this world being so soft. And I've been soft. You don't even know what you can do. Because you've been living in your past. Potentially. Maybe I'm the only one. But I wanted to come on here and spread this message because it was on my heart. I was really feeling it right now. And hopefully it resonated with just one person. So this is just the beginning. You watch. 5 years from now, when I watch this video, I won't even be able to recognize this individual. I will have a Phantom, Rolls Royce. I will be donating millions to philanthropy causes because that is what I love and enjoy more than anything else. And I'll be impacting people all over the world as I do right now, but on a much greater scale. But ultimately, I'll be looking myself in the mirror every day and saying, I'm proud of the man that you've become. Because in order to have more, you first must become more. It's just something to think about. So, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with me. Have a nice rest of your evening.